and welcome to another edition of the Wandering Ukie Café, the only place where rotten cheddar is actually considered a delicacy instead of something you gotta throw in the trash. Once again, we got a really nice day ahead of us today. There's a lot of sunshine. It's actually pretty warm for a late October day, so I'm taking advantage, and I think I'm gonna be doing a little bit of grilling today. I got a request again saying that I better be doing some videos for the grills, so I can't really disappoint my fan base now, can I? Man, the fans are getting a bit more fanatical, wouldn't I say? So, the menu today is going to be a little dose of salty pig. Salty pig, as we all know, comes in a variety of forms and is also all around delicious. For those of you who are just jumping in and wondering what the heck am I talking about, allow me to explain. Salty pig is just really our code amongst a couple of friends for what's essential, like bacon, pepperoni, sausage, like anything that's made of pork, salted up, then thrown to cook, and it's a beautiful thing to have. And sometimes it comes in tube format, which is on a menu for today. I decided to pick up a few packs of sausages to cook on the grill today. I've got fresh tomato and basil, basil for flavor, so you do have some nutrients in here. Good thing there's no nutritional information on this, because I dread to think what I'm actually going to ingest. And then the other pack is going to be for taco sausages, which is not something I buy very often. I'm going to imagine it's also going to be made with that same sauce you get in a taco meat, the one that has the black bean sauce. That stuff is super tasty. And if I'm lucky enough too, maybe I'm going to get some pieces of tortilla chips and maybe some taco shell in the sausage. Because, come on. If you can get feta cheese and poutine cheese and sausages, you can do that as well. So this will be on the menu. I'll be preparing that with a few veggies later on. But of course, I'm going to need some fuel for myself. So that fuel is something I picked up at the SAQ this week. It's basically, how can I say this? The SAQ will sometimes have stuff you can't get at the grocery stores. Occasionally it's going to be some brews that you can find from all around the world. So some of the exotic coins of the world, like maybe fancy German beers, stuff that's from Belgium, maybe you could get some, Polish beer, which actually is a thing. And what more international one can I have than the Sweetwater Brewing Company from Atlanta, Georgia. Yep, super exotic location, south of the US. I thought I heard an old proverb about it. Something about the devil had gone down to Georgia because he was looking for a soul to steal. At least I think that's how it went. This one is called the OG Sweetwater IPA, independently brewed since 1997. Now this thing's been brewed for so long, like before microbreweries really started to take charge of everything around here. But really, OG? As in original gangsta? I'm sorry, but this doesn't look very gangsta to me. Who's majored in thugonomics before. But I guess something brand new to try while I get the barbecue going. And what better way to do it than having it in one of my Big Lebowski glasses that says, "I'm the dude, man." This was another one of my old HMV purchase from many, many years ago. I used to have pint glasses galore. I wanted to get the Rush ones, but never thought about it. Plus, at the time I was thinking, where am I going to keep all this stuff? The Big Lebowski ones were like part of some deal that I had, was buy one set of glassware, get a second one half price. So I took advantage. Then seems like your standard issue IPA, if not a West Coast one. It's got more of a bitterness to it than the New England one will have. But hey, it's a good one, and a nice way to start it off. But also a nice way to get my fuel going while it's time to get the fire started. So, it's time to get stage one started. Stage one. Gives me some ideas for background music. And I'm at a point I'm thinking, if I'm going to play a song, how am I going to get flagged for copyright stuff? I think video game music is safe. Once again, I'm using these lighters. This is a mix of sawdust and wax, so it's not going to have too many chemical releases compared to just putting lighter fluid on here. So then once this is all disintegrated, I can just throw it onto the lawn or even into the garden, because ash is good for nutrients. Fire in the hole. Great, all three of them are lit up. So now we play the waiting game. But in case you find the waiting game boring, I suggest going to whip out some Hungry Hippos. We shall be right back after a word from our sponsors. Alright folks, are you tired of your run-of-the-mill Jack Daniels? Do you feel like you need a little bit of kick and sweetness in your life? Look no further and you got the new Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. You may have a taste of honey over here, maybe sweeter, and it's a nice combination of alcohol and sugar. Just don't overdo it. You're going to regret it. Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Dig it. Really? I recorded that commercial just to have it sponsoring myself on my own advertisement? I gotta get a new agent. So, this fire looks like it's starting to roar pretty well. So we're going to go on to the next step here, which is a little bit of potato therapy. I had a friend ask what that meant. No, it doesn't mean a happy ending in the end. And if it does, keep it to yourself. I don't need to hear that information. Yeah, one standard issue potato, take it out of my pocket for an emergency. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a hack to make it easier if ever you want to have this baked for yourself. So, a typical microwave, a simple technology piece, or in some people's cases, it's the most technologically advanced piece of equipment they got in their house. Whichever case you are, this is an easy way to get some potatoes going. You will notice that there's a lot of features there for like popcorn, for doing meats. But the one I use for quite a bit, besides just heating for a minute 30, is the baked potato setting. All I gotta do is take your potato, poke a few holes, get it really in there. This will let heat penetrate into here. And then what you do is you just put it in the microwave on baked potato setting. And then what it does is it actually pre-cooks it for you to let you grill it at a quicker time. So what would normally take you about an hour on the grill or an hour in the oven, this for like 4 minutes in the microwave plus 30 minutes on the grill means that you speed up the process tremendously. So I'm just going to put it in, hit baked potato, 1E, so it's like one head of potato, start. So it'll be ready in about 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Yep, simple life hack. And then once you're done, you just wrap it up in foil, throw it onto the grill. I had a friend who told me that he likes to put olive oil on it. Like he'll pour a whole batch of it first and then grill it. Because his logic is that once it's grilled up like that, it's so moist on the interior, you won't even need to butter it up. Probably just put some salt. Me personally, I just love buttered potatoes. What can I say? So stay tuned for another couple of minutes, then we're going to wrap this sucker in foil. I should probably check up on that fire and see how it's doing. Barbecue fire, not any other fires. Don't take me wrong, people. Alright, let's see here. Oh, gotta protect the broom. So we're already on the preheating phase here. I'm already approaching 150 degrees, and potato ration is all set to go, wrapped in foil, ready to grill. Ooh, ow, actually it's a hot potato. Is that where that game originated from? Like, did somebody hold a hot potato like a fucking idiot and decide to make it appropriate for kids? Seriously, how did they come up with this shit? Oh boy. So, once we get to 350, this grill's going to be preheated, cleaned off, and then we start the next round. Okay, let's take a look at this. Alright, we're at 350, everybody. So, enough embers in here. Time to get the grill on so that I can preheat, and then I can clean it off. It's much easier to clean this grill once it's heated up. That way all that gunk is going to scrape off much simply as opposed to just sticking around. I actually had some material, but then I couldn't think of it. Well, whatever the case. Let this grill clean, then I'm going to oil it up and start cooking some rations. And I think I'm running low. I might need a second round coming up. Huh. Well, well. Okay, you learn something new every day. Typically, I would get this grill cleaned up before I would put it on the barbecue. But I could see why they would say clean it up when it's heated up, because whatever grease is on here is going to be easier to scrape off, but also it's going to ignite a little bit more flame, meaning that you're actually going to get a much better heat with the barbecue here. So, go figure. It seems to be working like a charm. Beautiful thing, isn't it? And just in time, because I think it's a time for round 2. Next up over here is going to be the St. Ambroise New England IPA. This one, well, I know the St. Ambroise brewer pretty well. Like, everybody knows that they've been to Montreal. But this was something I discovered within the last year from McKibben's Irish Pub. God, I miss that place. But yeah, this is something that came up like relatively recently over there. And you're able to get it on tap. And that's a kind of, I want to say, the starting point of where I started to really appreciate and learn about the New England IPA. I think even Grumpy's had it too, and I remember that specifically. Grumpy's was also like around Bar Central and Crescent, Bishop, Mackay, whatever. They had a lot of the stuff from St. Ambroise on tap over there, and I want to say it was back in March, during my last pub run, before the shit hit the fan obviously, that I went for one run at Grumpy's, and then when I was about to leave, that's when I realized that this was actually on tap over there too. But I had a McKibben's not too long before that, so at least I was able to have that on tap, you know, draft beer before it was impossible to get anymore. And luckily enough, I managed to get some of these in the store. It's almost like St. Ambroise, New England IPA, and Boreal IPA du Nord-Est. Never are in the store at the same time. Like, you're always going to get one or the other for whatever reason. Both good ones, but when they arrive, they sell off the shelves like it's crack cocaine. I guess Rick James had a better idea. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Hoppy, citrusy fruitiness, and all above goodness. This seems to be smoking up just enough. I think it's time to add one stolen potato. Put it on the grill. Put it in. Let it sit for 30 minutes. But after maybe 15 minutes, you can flip it over. That way, everything's going to cook evenly around here. Check out all the smoke that's generating, people. What was that line from Apocalypse Now? Oh, yeah. I love the smell of victory in the morn. I'm butchering movie quotes, guys. Okay, take 2. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It smells like victory. Yeah, I have to add a bit of cheese over there. So those of you who have been following me for a while, you're probably asking, what exactly is cheese? Well, I guess while we're waiting for this to cook, I can give you a little tutorial. A bunch of my friends and me just use cheese as a little euphemism for really bad jokes, cheesy jokes, or I guess if you're Quebecois, then it's, you know, they shows quétaine, I suppose you could say. So there's certain scales it could have, like mild cheddar for someone that's like, kind of bad, but not too bad. But then the more smellier, like, you know, for some people they say the smellier the cheese, the better it is. Kind of like the same thing I've heard about weed. Not that I know a thing about that, because I don't touch that stuff. But yeah, it's like, if you make a really bad joke, like the worse the joke gets, then it becomes like rancid cheddar, brutal cheddar, and etc. Brutal cheddar, I'm gonna debate that, because when I think brutal cheddar, I think cheddar that's so hard, like it's, you know, the same strength as a brick that you could just throw at someone that causes damage. That's brutal cheddar. But yeah, cheese is just like our favorite euphemism for that. And then if I think I'm trying too hard, I'm just going to be accused of fishing for cheese. Yes, fishing for cheese, like the last time I showed him my vlog. Having some cheese on a fishing rod. Sorry, just thinking for a second. Thinking about my buddies. Huh. Now this is a phenomenon that hasn't happened in a while. I'm actually at 500 degrees on this thing. It seemed like all that residual grease that landed on top of the hardwood charcoal has started to make it char just a little bit more. Cheap discount charcoal never did that. It was like it started to heat up when I didn't need it the most for whatever reason. But there's a But there's a trick. Just close the bottom vent a little bit to cut off the airflow, and even the top one, the top vent could be closed up too to make it even more efficient. Or you could do what I do and just open it up, let all the smoke come out, start flipping it off. Yeah, there's a piece of the, like, I don't know what it was, but there was a flame over here that got set off because of residual grease. My God, you're greasy. So let's see how we're doing. Okay, we're at 500 degrees still. This potato looks like it's going good. Most of the ashes over here, actually the charcoal looks like it's embers, but not flaming as much. So we're good to go. I'm probably going to go for the next step too. I'm going to oil this up just so it doesn't stick with the next thing I'm going to grill. But just slightly, not too much. And what I'm going to be using is a little bit of avocado oil. Once again, if you haven't been following my videos, one of my buddies had used this. There goes a beer can. One of my buddies had used this to dip some pieces of eggplant before we put them on the charcoal grill. And it was actually pretty tasty too. So I started using this mostly for veggies when I'm grilling and such. I love this stuff. Again, I just want to do a light coat, just enough so it doesn't stick to this. I suppose with a good pair of tongs, then I'm not going to be in too much trouble here. Voila. So this is good. My next step is going to be some mushrooms right here. I enjoy having a lot of grilled veggies now. Eggplant, especially zucchini. Even mushrooms turn out really soft and tender on this, and I thought, let's do it on a Friday. And since I have a theme going on, maybe I should continue it. Let's see if this works. Beautiful. Mario fever, everyone. Here we are. And I'll just flip it around every now and then season it up with some simplicity. Just regular salt and pepper grains. Actually, it's like, pepper, but it comes with a built-in grinder too. Yet another beauty from Costco. Oh, sorry. I just wanted this to finish and repeat before I turned it off. Yep. Just a bit of seasoning here. One of those things you don't need anything too fancy once again. And holy shit. Oh, the cap. Almost lost it. And that should do the trick. Then very soon I'll just flip it, and before you know it, Salty Pig will be ready for serving. Gotta love Fridays. So what I decided to do is take whatever remaining oil that I had and top it off on some of the mushrooms that are still grilling here. I got some good marks, but I feel like this will make it go even quicker and just a little bit more on the grill itself. So without further ado, it's time for the pièce de résistance again, these Salty Pig tubes. So I'm doing tacos on one side. And then on the other side will be tomato and basil. Alright. Just let that sit for a few minutes. And then you can flip it, poke a few holes in it, do what you please with the salty pig, and then you're good eating. See here. Yep. Salty pig is cooking pretty properly too. So I'm going to give it a nice rotation. We've got some grill marks over here, people. What I may do later on is poke some holes for maximum penetration, and to get the heat going through, let it cook more, and then let the juices spew. It's going to be so lovely. There. I said I was going to get some holes poked in here, and I wasn't kidding. Actually, wait, there's no punchline to that. I'm just poking holes in salty pig. There. So this will allow it to penetrate even further. Juices are going to start spewing out as well, like I said. And this will allow it to cook even better too. Potatoes looking nice, but that may be more than ready to take off, but I'm going to keep going for it. Mushrooms are looking okay as well. Yep, they're really starting to look well cooked. Yeah, we'll be feasting like kings in no time. Alright, whoops. Better hide that. So, the mushrooms look like they're more or less ready. Potatoes probably well cooked. I'm just going to give a few more flips to these sausages. Make sure they're well done. Because when it comes to pork, you don't want to mess with that. It's like chicken. Mess with chicken, you may end up with salmonella. And you don't want to get that. Nobody enjoys it. Okay, I should get a container for this stuff. But all in all, supper will be ready very soon, and it's looking like it's going to be good eating. The only thing that I'm missing is something to accompany one of my sausages. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hot dog bun or like one of those giant sausage buns, grill it on here, add a little bit of my own patented barbecue sauce, because I don't have Dijon mustard like you're supposed to do, and I'm missing some sauerkraut to begin with. But with that, it's going to be good eating. So, thanks for watching, everyone. It's no fair. I'm at least going to let you see my final product afterwards. Stay tuned, everyone. Look at this, everyone. Munch on my saucy, salty pig. Wait, was I actually singing that? Don't mind me. Saucy in the sense that I have it with some barbecue sauce over here in a bun that I have been grilling up. And now let's give it a taste test. Yep. This is definitely a Mexican one. Because I can tell with the black bean sauce that's in there. You can usually see that with all Mexican cooking. It's like a staple with all this stuff. But super tasty, really delicious, and even with the sauce, it adds a tremendous flavor too. So, I'm just going to enjoy my chow and start signing off too with a final brew. Belgian Hefeweizen. I don't want to risk butchering a language yet again, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it in the original language. So on that note, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you liked this little journey that we had done. And remember, hit the subscribe button below, send a like, send a comment if you want, or if you have a request, send it my way. I'll see what I could do. This is the Ukie Cheese Cafe signing off. May all your cheddar be rancid.